Suppose you have 13 cards for each color. You have spade, diamond, then you have club and hearts. So now if somebody will ask you to arrange these cards, so you can arrange this card in different ways. Suppose somebody can arrange the cards only in hearts, okay, only spade or diamonds, or you can, I mean, grouping the you can group the cards in different colors. Like two clusters you can have, either you can have the red colors or you can have the black colors. Okay, or you can have, if you have some notions to divide it in, suppose only jack, okay, or you have only queen, or you have only king. So different, uh, depending upon your perspective, so you can have different type of groupings. Okay, so it is not fixed that that only single grouping is possible, or only that is fixed grouping is possible. You may have the n number of groupings which is possible. So now this clustering is very important thing, and for each grouping, that the members which involved, there will be have similarity. So those, so that I have taken an example of the playing cards. So now only red. So this red color cards in one group and black color cards in other group. It is two clusters. Now if I going to take an example that if somebody would like to have three clusters, so now how do you do these things? Three cluster. Suppose you are going to have king, queen or jack. So now all I mean this all the kings will be have one cluster, all the jacks for of the different uh, cards will be another cluster, and the jack will be in other clusters. So these are this way. So it is a very interesting, and it has got very wide application. Okay, so now I'm just going to write, so you may write it. You are given a data without level. In the classification that we have seen, that is a I mean this each data points is provided with some level. Class level was given, but here you are not supposed to have any class level for any data. So you are given a data without levels. So now what you are going to do, you are dividing data into constituent cluster. Constituent clusters. Okay, so you are dividing it, so these data are given. Now you are going to apply clustering algorithms, okay, to have its constituent parts. So you are dividing the data into constituent clusters. So now there is a distinction between these clusters and actual clusters that you need to know. Okay, now what you have to do, you are going to devise a algorithm to know number of cluster. Okay, so your objective is to find this I mean you'll have to devise an algorithm to know the number of clusters. Okay, now some data may have different clustering, which are equally nice, Some data may have different clustering which are equally nice. So just like example of the playing cards, okay, that you can have. Now clusters, actually clustering is the beginning data analysis. Cluster is the beginning of in the data analysis. So now whenever you are applying any clustering algorithm, either it is there's a two types of clustering. One is a hierarchical clustering and another is a non-hierarchical clustering. Okay, so whenever you are going to apply any clustering algorithm, so now the two important things which should be known to you. First of all, first one is called the number of cluster will be given to make our life simple, so that you could say number of clusters will be given, and similarity or dissimilarity. Similarity or dissimilarity measures that you have to do. MEASURES. Similarity and dissimilarity measure that you have to do. So now what is similarity measure and what is dissimilarity measure? Now 2 points, when you said these 2 points are similar, if the value of similarity is more and the value of dissimilarity is. Now 2 points are called dissimilar if the value of similarity more and the value of similarity is. Okay, so now this similarity measurements, these similarity measurements you have already seen that we apply the distance based technique, and similarity measurement we are going to use a cosine theta. So now cosine theta means angle between these two vector. Okay, if angle is 0, then it is similar. If angle is not 0, it is dissimilar. So now the similarity for the similarity measure. So a way of doing this similarity measure is called the cosine theta, cos theta simply. Okay. So now 2 points are dissimilar if the value of the dissimilarity is more and the value of the similarity is more, obviously. And if you are going to apply the similarity measurement, then 2 points PO 2 points are similar if the value of similarity is more and the value of dissimilarity is less. Okay. So now if these things is given to you, so you have a 2 data sets. These data sets are distributed over the 2-dimensional space, or if it is a single dimensional, then so how do you discriminate 2 clusters? How, suppose if this line is not given to you, only 2 data sets are given to you and you do not know what are the class level of this data. Okay, then how do you discriminate 2 cluster? I mean, which points belongs to which cluster and which points belong to which cluster? Then what you can do, you can simply have the mean of these data sets and you can simply have this mean of this data set. Now you can make a line or you can make a decision boundary, and the points belonging to above the line is cluster 1 and the points belonging to below the line is cluster 2. Now you are going to gradually applying some techniques that to how to divide these 2 clusters. So now based on the similarity measurement or the dissimilarity measurement, you are going to take a decision. Okay, now we'll be applying that in terms of the fundamental mathematics, that how you can establish a theorem or how you can establish a formula to discriminate between these 2 data points. Okay, so now it is just for the sake of illustration that that I have taken, that you have the 2 data sets and from these two data sets you can take a decision. Okay, then or you can do that you can simply divide this line in the just the middle of these things. Okay, then this one data set belong to the one class, another is another class. That you can do also. Okay, these are the things. So now next, by clustering, what exactly we are going to do? By clustering, we would like to get. We would by clustering we would like to get some information, not the full. We would like to get some information about labeling. By clustering, you would like to get some information about labeling. So your clusters are equally good, that your clusters are good, okay, and your clusters indicating the whole population. Now by clustering, we would like to get some information about labeling, okay, and your clusters are good, and your clusters indicating this whole population. It means that it reflects the division of population. It reflects the division of population. Okay. Now next is a clustering validity. Clustering, how do you check it? Now the clustering validity means that the division. So what do you mean by clustering? Division in the data set called clusters. Division in the data set is called the cluster. Now this, to make our life simple, okay, to make our life simple, two assumptions are made. We are going to take two assumptions. Two assumptions are made. What are those assumptions? Assumption number one, the number of clusters is known. So whenever you are going to apply any clustering algorithm, okay, that is a then this number of clusters will be known to you. And second assumption, give points belong to m-dimensional Euclidean space. Give points belong to, you have, that is okay, but this statement is not always true. So this it is also not always true. Not always true. Because as you can see that that we cannot have that all the points always belong to this m-dimensional real space, because if you take the take these things is a color. So color will have the different brown and white, means white or any other color. So which may not be in these things. Okay, in the real space it cannot have. Okay, and you do not do the multi. If you do these multiplications, okay, then now they do not do the multiplication and the division, then obviously it is not will have the real space. So maybe you can have some things which will may belong to the complex space. So this statement is not always true, but sometimes we, in order to make our life simple, so we are going to make these two assumptions. So now for the dissimilarity measurements, as I already told you, so you have to do two important things. That is, one is called is your number of clusters will be given, and you need to do the dissimilarity measurement. So now dissimilarity measurement, dissimilarity measurement, you're going to have distances, and similarity measurement, you have the cosine theta. You have this cosine theta. Okay, so cosine theta means that is you can have that angle between two vectors. Okay. Means that if angle is 0, then it is similar. Angle is 0, then it is similar. Okay, so these are the things that you can do. So now this in the classification that we have seen, in the clustering, that number of cluster is given, and you have to do similarity and the dissimilarity measurement. But in the classifications problem, the probability density function is given, and you can apply this classification. So now you may want to get cluster which is having following some properties. It's very important things. This, whenever you are going to have the clustering, so they will have some properties. So you may want to get clusters which is having following some properties. First property, minimum within cluster distance criteria. Minimum within cluster distance criteria. Okay, so that is you need to see. So what is minimum within cluster distance criteria? So let the number of clusters be known. Okay, let this number of clusters C be known. Now let you have S is equal to let you have S is equal to x1. You have x1 you have x1 x2. These are the data points that which is given to you. Actually it should be a vector. Okay, so x1 then dash. Okay, x2 dot then you have xn. Okay, uh, which is a subset of Rn. That is Rn. Okay, provided that this n provided that n is greater than is equal to c. Okay, so now this minimum within cluster distance criteria. So in the minimum within cluster distance criteria, suppose let number of clusters C be known to you. Now you have a set of data points x1, x2, x3, xn, which is subset of Rn. Okay, so this data points is also given. So you have B the given set of points. Now let dx comma y d I need to find d x comma y, both are vector. Okay, v the Euclidean distance, the Euclidean distance between x and y. X and y that are element of Rn. Okay, so now x and y both are the element of Rn. So this is called dx comma y. It is called the dissimilarity measure. It is called the dissimilarity. This is called the dissimilarity measure. Okay, now let among the data sets you are going to do some partitions. As you can see the figure that I already shown to you. So in this figure, so we are going to have some partition. So this line, this straight line that I have drawn. So this straight line will help you to have the partitions between these two data sets. So now let P is a partition. Now let partition P A1 because you are going to take a partition of the entire sets. Okay, now P A1 comma A2 comma AC, because you have the C cluster, then you have the C partition, then A C. Okay, so the partitions, so you can have a partitions among the data points provided the following condition. So let the data sets will have a partitions. So if you have the C cluster, then you have the C partitions among the data points. Okay, and you have to do the partition based on the following condition. So let partitions P1 into AC be defines first condition that AI you have, that is AI intersection AJ, AI intersection AJ AI intersection AJ is equal to 5, means it is a null set. I mean there should not have any common elements between these two partitions. Okay, because I have drawn a line which partition the data points, and you could see, so you could not find any data points which are common among these two clusters. So that is why, so you are going to do the partition following, I mean, we satisfy this following condition. First condition is AI intersection AJ is equal to null. So it is a 5. So I should write that is a, or I can get 5. Yes, 5. Okay, for all I is not is equal to j. For all I is not is equal to of j, it means that it is a disjoint. Two sets are called this. Whenever you say that you have the two different sets, and the two different sets are called disjoint if they satisfy this property. Okay, AI intersection AJ is equal to 5. Okay, now second conditions kya hai? So your second condition is that you are going to have union of, you have, it is a, I need to say why it is union of yes, union of 1 to C, 1 to C AI, union of 1 to C AI, because so here I am not mentioning I is equal to 1 to you could write also I is equal to 1 to C. So 1 to C AI is equal to, that is a, what I should write? Anyone can tell me what I should write? Huh?
Sir, number of X points.
S.
S.
Very good. Because I is equal to 1 to C, yes, because S is your total point. A is your power set you can consider. So now you are taking S partition. So actually you are taking in C subset and condition C क्या होगा? AI is not is equal to phi. I mean, what does it mean? That you need to have at least one element. You need to have at least one element. I mean, I mean, if you find that AI is equal to 5, so you cannot have. So at least you need to have one element to start with. So AI is not is equal to AI is not is equal to 5. Where for all I is equal to 1 to 3. Okay. So AI is not is equal to 5 for all I is not is equal to 1 to C. So now these are the essential condition which needs to be satisfied. So when you are going to do this kind of partition, okay. So now actually there is a this A1, A2, A3. You can write it in a script A. The script of A is called a power set. Okay. So now I could write is a script A. That is a where I can get script A, or I can have script S. That is yes, I can have yes, script A. Okay. So actually script A, it is actually a partition that you have already done. I mean, there's a intersection of P1, P2, PA1, PA2, PA3 till PAC. So it is known as a script A. Okay. So PA1, A2, AC, which satisfy above three properties. Which satisfies the above. Okay. So now for a partition that is P, now you need to see, okay, these important things for a partition, how you are going to do the partition. So for a partition P A1 A2 AC, it may you may have one partition, you may have two partition, you may have C partition. For a partition, so I am just formulating it in a general way. So let yi, so this is yi is equal to 1 by this is called this AI. So this is called this cardinality. So cardinality means number of points which involved in a set. So now it is called 1 by AI summation of x x is an element of AI. X is an element of AI okay. X is a vector, so x is a vector, so it is an element of AI. So x is an element of AI, that is an x. Are you understanding this point? That is very important thing. So now this AI is called, this AI, this denominator before this summation 1 by AI. So this AI is a denominator. So it is called this cardinality. So cardinality means number of points. So xi where I is equal to where I is equal to 1, 2, 3 till C. Okay. So this AI is called, I should write it is called cardinality. Cardinality of A. So it is called this symbol, okay, cardinality. So cardinality symbol, okay, A dot dot. I mean, so in the that is a you have to have two dash in the upper of A. So it is mean this number of points. It is mean this number of points. Okay. Now what you have to do? So this yi, that is to be defined because you have these two because you need to find the distance between these two vector x and y is there. Okay. So now this y, it is a 1 by, it is just a mean. You are just computing the mean. So the formula is actually a mean. If you just look at it, so 1 by total number of points. So that is called this cardinality. Now for each A1, now for each A1, you have mean y1. For each partition, you are going to have different mean. If you have C partition, you are going to have C mean. A1 corresponding to y1, A2 corresponding to y2, A3 corresponds to y3, A4 corresponds to y4, then AC corresponds to yc. Okay, means mean of yc. So now then this, whenever you are going to finding a mean or whenever you are going to do the partition, then you are incurring some loss. Okay, because so that is, now you need to find out the partitions has to be done and you need to analyze this partition based on these loss functions. Okay, then we are incurring, I am assuming that I am incurring some loss. Now after that, So doing the partitions, after you are going to have the final partition, then how much loss you are incurred, and the loss has to be minimized. Okay, so that is this thing. Now, so mathematically, I am going to write, let capital L is called the loss. Capital L, then you have P A1, A2, then AC. So now if you have C partition, so doing the C partitions from the entire data sets, then you are going to have some loss. Now the loss can be formulated, the loss can be defined, that is equal to where you have the double summation I is equal to 1 to C. Then okay, then X is an element of AI, then there is a Euclidean distance that we are going to have. This is a Euclidean norm. Okay, that is confined x minus yi square. Okay, so this loss function can be defined in this way. Okay, L of P A1, A2, AC, then I is equal to 1 to C, summation of x into AI into x minus this AI square. Okay, this is called this formula is called the within cluster distance in the cluster. In the this is called this formula that you have to compute whenever you are going to apply some clustering method. This is called the within cluster distance in the cluster. Okay, so this is a loss one. So L of A1, A2, then 1y is equal to 1c. If you have these C partitions, then so that's why you have to sum them up, this distance for each partition. So that's why the outer sign is outer summation operator is there. Okay, so now your objective is to find this optimal partition, because whenever you're going to apply the k-means clustering algorithm, so the partitions that you're going to do, that should be optimal partition. So now from these partitions A1, A2, A3, you are going to choose the optimal partitions. Now if you are going to choose the optimal partition, then what will be the condition? So now choose that is P. So A1 0, A2 0, then AI 0 means O. O means optimal. So P A1 O, P actually it is not 0, it is O. Oh, it is O. Okay. you have to choose the optimal partition such that such that such that L of P A1 A2 AI okay, it is less than is equal to, so loss, now the loss, now whenever you're going to choose the optimal partition, then also you can also finding the how much loss has been incurred. Now this loss of P A1 optimal, A2 optimal, AI optimal, okay, if it is a less than or equal to this L of, sorry, less than is equal to P of A1 A2 till AC. L of A1 A2 till AC. Okay, now this loss associated with the optimal partition. Now the loss associated with the optimal partition. Okay, so this is called the loss associated with the optimal partition. So now for that is for all P A1 A2 AC which is element in, that is script A. Okay, so now this is the thing. So now what we have to do, we want to get a partition of the data set with some properties. We want to get a partition of the data set with some property, and that properties will optimize with all the partition. Okay, so this is just a background that when I'll explain to you this k-means clustering. So this is just a mathematical framework for understanding this k-means clustering, and this partition is very important. So I hope that it is clear to you, and it has got different implications. Okay, so let us say that we have found these optimal clusters. Okay, and okay, so before that I need to say there is a two types of clusters are there. One is called this convex cluster, another is called the non-convex clusters. Okay, so so we'll see all these things in probably in the next class, but here You know what is the meaning of this convex set? So how do you define a convex set? Convex set. So can you so do you know this how do you define a convex set?
Straight line between 2 points lie in the same set.
Suppose
Then
you
we
have
call it
some
convex.
convex sets that this criteria that we have already made, these three different criteria. So it is essentially provide these convex clusters. Okay, and the line segment join any 2 points should be completely contained in this set. Then it is called this convex. Suppose you take a 2 point and you are just making a line segment. If you see this the data points, all the data points completely contained in the line segment, then this set is called the convex sets. Okay, so now these non-convex clusters also that can be I mean non-convex clusters also may not be obtained by using this criteria. So now can you say that that how many clusters that you can have? Suppose these are these points here. This is this thing. You have these two different data sets, and if you divide these data sets, you are going to get two different uh, data set with two different means. Okay, so if you just have this that is, are you understanding these things? Based on this uh, based on your division of the clustering, that you will have this have two different means for one means for one cluster, another means for one cluster. So if you have some horizontally divide these data points, you have this, there's a one, the mean location will be different. If you have the vertical, then you have the mean location will be different. So now your objective is you have to do the partition in such a way so that the loss will be incurred. I mean loss, it will be this optimum. Okay, I mean this L of that we have done, that is a loss associated with the optimal partition, it will be less. So now next, that is the important things that I am not going to start today. So I'm just giving to you this. There's a framework that is a C-means K-means clustering algorithm. K-means clustering means K because honestly you have to implement it. K is the number of means. Sometimes it is known as a C-means. Okay, so several versions of K-means are available. Several version of K-means available. So probably most popular algorithm that you can have, that is a 4G C-means, McQueen C-means, and the these are these very popular. And so sometimes it is called the C-means, so it is called, sometimes it's called the, there's a K-means. So now that is an we'll see that is a K-means algorithm in different version of the K-means algorithm. So not possible today. That is a very important thing. But implementation steps I'll be explaining to you in the next class. That is very simple. That is a so just telling you, that is a, you have to first start with these things. So uh, like this you have to take this some seed points. First you have to choose these seed points. I'm just telling you, this is an in brief, not going to write these things. So firstly, what you have to do in this C-means algorithm, that you can find, you have a set of data points, that is x1, x2, xn, and you have to have a distance matrix, that is a dxy, which denotes the equilateral distance between these two vector x and y, and the number of clusters will be given to you. number of clusters will be given to initially that you have at least 2 clusters. So C is greater than is equal to 2. You need to have at least 2 clusters or at least 2 clusters. Otherwise, it is grouping is not possible. So that's why C is greater than or K is greater than is equal to 2. So where K is a positive integer, and you have to choose a threshold value. Okay, that is where this threshold is called, that is an epsilon. Now I'm just telling you this in brief. You have to take a K points, so K seed points that you have to choose. Okay, now how to choose these seed points, that I'll tell you afterwards. After that, what you have to do, you have to find this cluster. So now whenever you are going to do some clusters, now on you are going to satisfy this property. Which property? Minimum within cluster distance criteria. Okay, so if you have these two clusters, suppose one cluster is denoted by a2y, it means that if the distance is minimum, then I mean you have to take dx comma y1i to dx comma y1j. So I and j are two different clusters. Okay, I mean I and j are the distance, I mean whichever is the minimum distance, then you put this in the ith cluster. You have two cluster, ith cluster and a jth cluster. If you are just have to criterion function dx y I and dx yj. Now which one will have the minimum? Then you just have, by taking the seed points, then you just put it in these two different things. Next is that you have to compute. Now you have these two clusters. Now you are going to have the mean of each of the clusters. तो फर्स्ट मीन, अगर आप फर्स्ट क्लस्टर्स का मीन निकालोगे तो दिस मीन विल बी, that is a y2y is equal to mean of a2y. Okay, a2y is a set and you have this I mean y1i for this mean of these first clusters. Now what you have to compute, you have to this have the difference between the two means, because if there is a there is no significant mean difference, then you will see that is then how do you check it? That is a y1i minus y2i. I mean that is a mean of these two partitions. If it is less than is equal to some threshold value, the threshold that you have to choose. Okay, if there is no significant mean difference, then you stop the algorithm with the output that that is a y2y is this set of clusters. Otherwise, if there is a set of mean difference, then you have to rename this a2i with the a1. Means you have to replace these clusters with this first clusters with the second clusters, and you have to initialize these clusters that has been renamed by the null set. Then again you have to iterate it. Now your condition is that you have to take the difference d of y1i into y2j, that is a significant mean difference. Now epsilon is a measure of accuracy. So epsilon is a threshold that you have to choose. So now to start the algorithm, you have to have epsilon value is equal to e is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 you can choose, or 10 to the power minus 4. Okay. So these are the things that this k-means will definitely, it will usually converges. Okay, and for these two different sets of initial seed points, so sometimes you may have two different final clusters. So that is a very interesting thing, and we'll see in next class with some mathematical background how the k-means algorithm and different version of the k-means algorithm that we'll see. Then after that we'll see the different like this non-convex clusters. So non-convex clusters, you have the hierarchical and this non-hierarchical. C-means is a non-hierarchical clustering, and in the hierarchical clusterings, it is a tree structure. You have a agglomerative clustering and the divisive clustering. Okay, so we'll see all these things. So it will take 3 to 4 lectures to complete it. Okay, so that's all for today. So if you have any questions, so you can ask me.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, all the Word files that you have written till now, can you please share them all?
Okay. I will. Okay, I did not send you, no, all the files.
Sir, you have sent the PPTs, but not the Word files.
Acha. Okay, I'm just sending you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Because from the previous things also it is left, na?
Yes, sir. You haven't shared any Word file.
Okay, okay. Let me check what I am having. Did I send you this file?
No, sir. From Nitris, we haven't received any Word file. There are all PPTs.
Oh, all are PPTs, no? But I am having different. Okay, I need to see where I have kept it. Oh, so maybe in my office, laptop, because today I'm teaching from my home. Okay, maybe I'll check. I'll check. I am now sending it this file now immediately. Yeah?
Okay, sir.
This class study. Okay.
And
So
sir,
do you
from
have any class tomorrow
exam
morning?
point, sir, from exam point of view, do we need derivations of different formulas?
Not, I mean, derivation is required, but mostly you'll have to solve for this. I mean, you have to take help from the derivation, and mostly you have to solve the numerical.
Okay.
Some examples will be there, and you need to solve it. I
So,
mean, not.
can you send some numerical examples to us, please?
Yes, I'll send you. Okay, one PPT is there. So I'm just yesterday I was searching this PPT. Okay, so I could not find this PPT. So in this PPT, so one very good example is there. I don't know why I have kept it. Okay. If you see this, so firstly I need to explain to you the K-means algorithm. Then only if you just follow these steps that I'll tell you, then by solving the numerical, it will be easy to digest.
And also, sir, for Bayes classifier and that dimensionality reduction part.
For this numerical.
Numerical question examples for practice.
Okay. I'll send you. Okay, acha, are you all are coming back to institute?
So, according to the notice, we are supposed to come by 31st May. Our exam is in June and July. It's 2 semesters.
Oh.
So our exam will be starting from 6th June.
No. Means what about your practical class?
Yes, sir, from 6th June itself, we will first have 15 days of practical and then 7 days of exam. And again in July, same for second semester. 15 days of practical and 7 days for exam.
Acha, yesterday I sent you one mail. So did all of you attend this Reliance Foundation these things webinar? Have you attended? Anyone has attended it or not yesterday? You should be. I mean, because whenever I am sending you this mail, na, so you should attend these things because it is a very good scholarship, na. So you should not miss this opportunity. If you are facing any difficulties for filling up this form, please let me know, na. I will help you. Because the last date is 7th of March.
So what is the scholarship for? I mean, is it like we have to do something on AI?
No, you are not supposed to do anything. Only you need to avail it. That's it. Based on your eligibility criteria, you first apply it, then they will take some interviews, and if you clear the interviews, you'll get the scholarship. So there is no as such like that you have to go for any job, any separate job or any separate task will be given. It is not like that. So based on your academic merit or academic credit, so you will avail these things. That's it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so please apply. No, means why you are not, you guys are not interested to apply. I'm not understanding.
So actually you have said about the GATE score. So we all have GATE score less than 600.
All of you have this 600.
Less than 600. The most of us had.
The GATE score should be less than 600.
Sir, you said minimum 600 and most of us have something less than 600.
No. So the eligibility criteria is that you need to have a GATE score less than 600, isn't it? You are telling.
So more than 600.
Achha, more than 600. So how many students are qualified for these things? Total?
So I haven't applied, but I can apply.
Why you are not applying? Because
Sir,
if you are satisfying this eligibility criteria, okay. So only Subro Sarkar just dropped me a message that he's applied. So I'm just getting the message from only his. But those who are satisfying the eligibility criteria, so please do not miss this opportunity. So I am here to help you. So if anything is there, if any as if in final if any mentor or any other thing, so I will be mentoring you. Okay, because I am the representative from our and my research is also in the field of AI and ML.
Sir, what is the interview going to be on?
So firstly, you have to apply if you satisfy this minimum eligibility criteria conditions. That is a GATE score. Okay, you apply it and there is a one academic references and one your personal references are required, that is to be uploaded. So it may be from your BTech college or some other college, or it may be from this institute side. Okay, that's it. Okay, और तो कुछ है नहीं. And you have to write a statement of purpose, SOP. So
sir, actually eligibility criteria is either if your GATE score is greater than 600 or your UG percentage is greater than 7.5. It's either of like.
Okay, then this, I think this maximum student will be eligible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I am getting a very bad feedback from Reliance Tool, so they are just constantly just messaging me that very few people are registered and they are not attending this webinar. So it is a very bad impact, na? Because so there are only few NITs are selected: NIT Rourkela, NIT Surathkal, and this NIT Trichy. Sir? Out of these 29 NITs, so they have selected only 3 NITs for this thing, and I am the representative, so that I am every day I used to send you a mail that please attend this webinar. If you have any doubts, so they are here to clear you. So means why you are afraid to apply? So I am not understanding. BTech guys are applying. So if they are having any difficulties, so they are just directly contact me. Sir. Okay. Sir. They are having certain scholarship that they are going to give it to you. So they have in their mind. So if you are not active to apply, then they feel the NIT Rourkela students are not interested. ठीक है, तो अभी तो 7 मार्च है ना, तो उसमें भरो फटाफट. If you feel any doubts or any clarifications, okay, if at my end I can I can clear you, then it's fine. Otherwise I can ask to Vivek, so who is the things is there, Reliance people. So I used to talk with him. Okay, so please apply. Okay, don't miss the opportunity. So you'll get a very good scholarship amount.
Sir? Sir, actually the problem is quite different. I mean, when we are applying without GATE score, then there is a pop-up warning there that if we do not have the GATE score, then only we can apply on the basis of UG score. Means
Okay,
we have
because-
to confirm that we have not sit for GATE 2020. Like there is an option. I mean, if we are applying through only the UG score, then we must not be sitting for GATE. We must not have sat for GATE. There is that option.
So if you have this kind of doubt, so you could have approached me, na? You should approach me, so I can ask them directly. So what you can do, you just write a WhatsApp message to me, okay, to my mobile number. So I'll forward forward your queries to them.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Whatever queries you are having in your mind, you just WhatsApp me, okay, and I'll just forward it to them. So they will whenever they will this reply me, so I'll immediately tell you, because I can reach you, because as I am taking these ML classes, so that's why I can reach all the students, all the specialization students, and those who are fulfilling the criteria. So I just motivate them, please apply it, okay. And during filling the form, if you feel any difficulties, you just let me know, because there is the deadline is 7th March. So after that the application will be closed. Sital, do you have the GATE score?
Yes, sir.
So means why you have not applied till now?
So I was confused that we might be doing some project in
So,
AI or
अरे
something. I'll read about it
confusions
now.
confusions दूर करने के लिए तो मैं हूं ना.
Yes, sir.
So
I'll do it now.
I am just telling all the students, means master students, that if you have any doubts or you need to have any clarification, so please let me know, so that I can talk to them over the phone. So my objective is that maximum students should get this they should get the opportunity. So that's why I have been appointed for this job. So it is my duty to help you. ठीक है? Wednesday मुझे बोलो, okay, means you just apply, all of you, please, today or by tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll just wanted to see this feedback and these references, so you can take it from your BTech supervisor also, na, or your BTech students. So there is no problem. If the faculties are not known to you, or if you are not well acquainted with these faculty members in our NIT Rourkela, then also you can take it from your BTech teacher or BTech supervisor. No problem. ठीक है? So I am leaving. Okay, we will meet on Wednesday.